It's hard to believe I'm walking through the ruins of the first ever city, because I'm not. That's in Iraq.
Obviously, if you read fantasy, you know that there's a lot of modern fantasy coming out right now that's really great, a lot of stuff that's trying to push the genre and be innovative, but sometimes you just want things with like a classic fantasy feel. So in this video, I'm recommending books and series that are newer and from the past 10 years or so, but have that classic fantasy feel to them. Kings of the Wild was published in 2017, but you could easily tell me this book was written in 1993 and I would believe you. I've described this as your dad's favorite fantasy book. It's about a group of mercenaries who have since settled down and retired and have started families or started their own businesses, but because one of their daughters gets kidnapped, they have to bring the band back together and go and save her. It reads like a D&D campaign. There's a lot of humor until it punches you in the gut, but the big twist to it is that every mercenary group is based off of a real classic rock band. And then if you like Kings of the Wild, you should check out The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi because this has a very similar premise. Amina is an infamous retired pirate who just wants to settle down and raise her daughter even if she misses her old escapades. So when she's blackmailed into going back into the business, she has these mixed feelings about it. This is a really fun cast, the world building is amazing, and I absolutely love the main character. I've recommended Foundyside a few times. This is like a Brandon Sanderson book, but with lesbians. The magic system here is really interesting. It's kind of physics and coding based, and the main character has the ability to kind of manipulate that magic system different than most people. It is a heist story, and the second book has a lot of like found family themes in it. Master of Jinn reads to me like Terry Pratchett. There's that kind of wry sense of humor throughout the whole story that other authors just can't really seem to do. A Master of Jinn takes place in an alternate 1920s steampunk Cairo, and it follows a woman named Fatma who is a female investigator within the government, and her job is that she's kind of stuck within this murder mystery, trying to figure out what happened, but her main suspect is a man who claims to be a reincarnated version of God. There's Jinn, there's romance, there's humor. I feel like the magic system is really well incorporated within this world to make it more believable. The Jasmine Throne is part of the Sapphic trifecta, so I think sometimes the romance is a little bit oversold in this book because this is first and foremost a political fantasy. It's kind of hard to describe what goes on in this book because there's a lot, but essentially Princess Malini is this woman who has been outcast from her family because of some stuff that she did in the past, and she is sent in exile to a city-state. She doesn't know though that the city-state is on the brink of rebellion, and one of the only people who can help her there is the maidservant Priya, who is involved in some of the more magical aspects of the city-state's history. Lies of Locke Lamora is the oldest book on this list, but this is just Grown Up Six of Crows. Like, that's exactly what this is. That is my list. Let me know if you read any of these and what you think of them, and if you have any recommendations for modern fantasy that has that classic fantasy vibe to it, I would love to hear it.
I had a little cry earlier, and I had a big cry last night.
Yeah.
But I'm not crying now.
You're not?
And I think for that,
Yeah.
I'm doing so well.
All right, according to BookTok, this book is apparently the Second Coming and Christmas Day all in one. A 4.8? That's better than The Way of Kings, the highest rated Goodreads book like ever. And I know that 400,000 less people have read it, but there's 3,000 ratings. That's not the friends and family plan here. 3,000 people is the public has read this and gone 4.8, second grade math off the top of my head, that's a 9.6, which is high enough to pique my interest, but too high to not doubt it. But we are going to go in with an open mind.
Not to be dramatic, but I think the worst part about being an adult is that you basically have to choose between financial stability or like happiness.
Today, I wanted to eat a croissant. So I went to a place that sells croissant. And I bought a croissant. And I returned home with the croissant. And then I ate the croissant.
I just stood there quietly breathing. There were no thoughts in my head whatsoever. My mind was blank. I don't know what the hell these other crackpots are doing.
What do you say we keep these good vibes going?
I'm fucking mind blown. I've never seen this in my fucking life.
What?
Lorcan and a leader about to get it on.
Okay, I want your reaction. Okay.
Lorcan's throat bombed. I need help getting into the bath. Do you now? Are we about to have a bath session? Show me what to do. Hey girl. Virgin life. Tell me what you want next. The whole shabam, Lorcan. Her uneven breathing. Beautiful, he murmured. His chest. Remember, he's fit, bruh.
I know.
She dared to glance down his body to what strained under his pants. His mouth found hers, finally, gentle and thorough. What the fuck? A fade to black? It goes right to Aelin. Show me everything. So Lorcan did what? Details! We need details! I'm so sorry. This is wrong.
I'm sorry.
How many books? 3? I waited 3 books for he did?
He did. He showed her everything. He did it all.
I'm so sexually frustrated right now.
Frick. This is gonna be a problem, isn't it?
If I finally read this book and find out that y'all are lying, I'm only accepting apologies via Cash App and Apple Pay.
These hoes don't know what life about.
I just want to say how really sad it is that there's not an option on here for he unleashed himself, because I don't know how many more times I can read that. Also, taking a quick reading break here, Crown of Midnight is so good. What is? He growled, look, the dice don't lie. The dice don't lie.
I'm getting tired of the, oh, I was written by a man, or oh, I was written by a woman. I was written by a child that has a very vague concept of what it means to be an adult.
Monkey covering eyes emoji.
How many of those have you had?
Two?
Wrong.
It is really funny to me that some men don't realize that their girlfriend being really into reading is extremely beneficial for their relationship. The other day I was at work and I had this book sitting next to me because I was about to go on break. And this guy goes, oh, my girlfriend reads too. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, but like, I didn't realize, like, she's really, really into reading. We haven't been dating that long, but like, I went over her house and she has like shelves full of books. And I think it's cute and nerdy that she's like into reading, but I wish she would do other stuff. And I was like, well, honestly, her being into reading is probably very best case scenario for you. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, have you ever asked her what she was reading? Or have you ever just taken a book off her bookshelf to get like curious? He was like, no. And I was like, this girl is not having a birthday party, if you catch my drift. And he was like, oh, so it's like, yeah, like what I figured, romance. Yeah, it's romance. I said, honestly, I wouldn't complain too much that she's into reading, because you'll find out sooner or later how beneficial it is to have a girlfriend that reads all the fucking time. Because, you can never say they're boring.
He was a great leader. His hands bore the blood of thousands of children. Slay.
Yeah, hey gang, sorry if this is inappropriate. I was doing some math for Silver Flames, and do you think Cassian wears a helmet? Because, like, if Nesty can go 10,000 steps down and right back up, I mean, her thighs have, like, a bite force of a crocodile. One false move, one twitch.
I will never understand how some people will give readers shit for like writing and annotating in their books. Like, yeah, I spent $17 on a book just to write and highlight in it. But you know what? I'm having the time of my life just sitting here giggling, writing LOL or OMG. It's so fun!
One thing about me is no matter what my bank account looks like, if I'm upset, something's gonna get bought.
Afternoon. What can I do for you?
I need to buy a gun.
Sorry, I thought I saw a wasp.
Do you love me too?
Excuse me?
12,000, you suck my toe?
No, are you insane?
I just want, you know.
I'm not putting your toe in my mouth.
Am I insane? I almost got my fucking insides ripped out by an esthetician. You could suck my toe for 12,000.
You want me to perform a sexual act on your toe?
It doesn't need to be sexual.
How do you suck a toe platonically?
The same way you eat a fucking pickle.
It's attached to your body.
Okay. It's just.
I'm not sucking your toe.
Think of it as a pickle.
That helps?